This will be your class on your final separation settlement out of the Marine Corps. For your final settlement, please be aware, do not close your direct deposit account. This is the account that you receive your regular paychecks in. Do not close it, or you shall not see your money and prolong the process. Through this class, we will go over lump sum leave, your clothing allowance, basic pay, as well as allowances up to your EAS. For those special cases, your separations pay, disability pay, severance pay, or voluntary separations pay, if applicable. If you receive these, you should already be aware and informed by your career planner. Any debt owed to the government will be taken out of your final settlement. For example, Navy Marine Corps Relief Society loans, liquidations, or missing gear checkages. This is an example of your NAVMAC 11060. To ensure fast and accurate processing, please verify all information is correct, such as your leave, your PTAD dates, your name, personal information such as rank, EDI-PI, and your address after EAS. Ensure you get signed copies of your NAVMAC 11060 prior to taking off on terminal leave. Lump sum leave. Each active duty Marine and reservist on orders for more than a year can sell a maximum of 60 days of leave in their career. Reservists on orders for less than a year rate to sell all leave, no matter how much has been sold in the past. Each Marine can only carry over 60 days to a new fiscal year. Your calculation for lump sum, it will be the basic pay for your rank, divided by 30, multiplied by the remaining days of leave upon your EAS. Once again, it will be your basic pay for your rank, divided by 30, multiplied by the remaining days of leave upon your EAS. Your lump sum leave will be taxed 25% federal and applicable state tax. Let's take a few seconds to review the applicable state tax. For those entitled to separations pay, a Marine must have between 6 to 19 years of active service prior to involuntary release from active duty. For full separations pay, it will be the base pay for your rank, multiplied by 12, multiplied again by 10%, then multiplied by the number of years and months in decimal format. This entitlement will be taxed 25% federal tax and state tax if applicable. For half SEPS pay, you will calculate your full SEPS pay and divide that by 2. For full and half SEPS pay, it is only determined by Headquarters Marine Corps, not the dispersing office. Officers do not rate this entitlement unless prior enlisted. Take a second to review the example given of a sergeant of 10 years receiving full SEPS and half SEPS. For those entitled to voluntary separations pay, or referred to as VSP, it must be approved by Headquarters Marine Corps under an active MAR admin. The computation will be your basic pay for your rank, multiplied by the number of years in service, and multiplied by 20%. The total will then be taxed 25% federal tax and, if applicable, state tax. Take a second to review the example given of a sergeant of 12 years receiving VSP. For those entitled to disability severance pay, the computation will be the base pay for your rank, multiplied by 2, and multiplied again by the number of years. The months will round up if it is more than 6, and less if they round down. The max years is 19 years. This will be taxed 25% federal and state tax if applicable. If the injury is combat-related, it is not taxable. For this entitlement, it pays out to a minimum of 6 years, regardless of time in service prior to the injury. The only exception is in simulated combat. Example would be boot camp, MCT, MCMAP, or in the field. Then it will be paid to a minimum of 3 years. If you have more time in service than the minimum, it will take precedence. The dispersing office will pay 0% to 20%. Any other amount is handled by the VA. Take a second to review the example of a sergeant with 10 years of service receiving disability pay. PTAD and terminal leave. For involuntary discharges, you are authorized to receive up to 20 days of PTAD. If PTAD is authorized in conjunction with terminal leave, ensure dates on your paperwork, such as your NAVMAC 11060, are correct. Verify your leave dates prior to leaving IPAC to avoid excess leave, which could result in a checkage and possible overpayment. If you are currently living in the barracks receiving BAW partial, you will rate BAW without dependents while on terminal leave. For allotments, when you are retiring, your allotments will continue unless requested to stop. Otherwise, all allotments will be stopped the month prior to discharge. Take a second to review the example. Your direct deposit account, do not close it. Your pay and travel settlements are sent via electronic funds transfer to your current direct deposit account. Closing your direct deposit account will delay your final settlement. No hard checks will be issued no matter the situation. When will I get paid is what we all want to know. Well, 60% of all members will be paid automatically on either the 1st or the 15th payday, depending on your EAS. Reasons of why you are not being paid on the 1st or the 15th? Well, if you're being administratively separated, or you're receiving a sort of extra entitlement such as SEPS pay, disability pay, or VSP, or if you're a reservist, then you will not be getting paid on the 1st or the 15th after your EAS. For these payments, we have 5 working days from when we receive them from your admin to pay them out directly to you. Take a second to write down your points of contact. Dispersing can only speak to admin or the member themselves regarding claims. Unless a spouse or personnel with proof of power of attorney present themselves at the help desk of the dispersing office, amounts requests cannot be given over the phone.